Roommates, Memoirs of the Hairless Ape by TGWeaver and Pokemanical. Chapter 7.
Here's Bonnie!
The sounds of heavy footfalls on a concrete sidewalk alert you to someone approaching the bus stop. Glancing up, you observe a tall, gangly rabbit dressed in a tweed coat and dress slacks sauntering up to your bench. Unlike the two bunnies you've met thus far, this one's a dusty purple and appears to be male.
Well, would you look at this motley crew? How you folks doing on this finest of days?
The rabbit says, snapping his lapels.
Hey Bonworth, good to see you up and around. Heading into town?
Chica replies as she stands up to hug the newcomer.
Right as rain.
He replies jovially, slowly breaking the hug before turning to look at you.
Now say, I know little Miss Bonnibel here, but who's this swell-looking fella? Put it there, pal!
Without warning, the rabbit thrusts a huge bulky paw in your face, nearly clipping you in the jaw. You reach out and shake it, trying not to wince. He's got a grip like iron. This goofball's a hell of a lot stronger than he looks.
Bonworth, this is Mike, our new roommate. Mike, this is Bonworth Carrington Robinson II.
Chica replies.
Kind of a mouthful, right? My friends just call me Bonnie.
Bonworth grins.
Huh, that makes you the third Bonnie I've met while staying here.
You reply, rubbing your half-crushed hand.
You know, I hadn't really thought about that, but now that you mention it...
Your Bonnie comments, absently counting something off on her fingers.
I suppose there are a number of us running around.
Bonworth chuckles.
If you factor in no beanpole, then that should bring the tally of Bonnies I know of to 4 by my counting, including myself, of course. Holy shit! Bon wasn't kidding. This apartment complex is by no means suffering a Bonnie deficiency. It's almost enough to make my head spin.
Still, considering the fact that not a single one you've met thus far is actually named Bonnie per se, it makes some level of sense if it's a common nickname. Sort of like how Freddy could easily be short for Frederick or Alfred. Either way, you make a mental note to try to start referring to your own Bonnie by your full name a little more when you're around other Bonnies, so that it doesn't get any more confusing than it already is. Oh, but then there's the fact that Freddy refers to things using Bon.
I'm happy to see you again, Bonworth.
Bonnibel, dammit, says, giving him a brief and gentle hug of her own.
Well, shucks, look at me, getting all the attention from the lady folk here.
He breaks into a dopey smile, doing a little dance on the spot, even though it's obvious he's not cut out for it. You watch as he teeters back and forth like a drunken sailor trying ballet for the first time, much to the girl's amusement and your own disdain.
So, where are you headed?
Bonnibel asks, giggling softly at the display.
Well now, I was fixing to go hook our crew up with some victuals. Seeing as how we're running low on groceries, how about you kids?
He smirks, rubbing his chin.
Mike here's gotta head to the bank.
Chica says, patting you on the shoulder.
And then we were thinking of doing some shopping and picking up some pho for dinner later tonight. Mango has a craving, it would seem.
You know, Bonworth, I think there's a grocery store right by the bank. Why don't we walk together and catch up?
Bonnibel says, timidly raising her paw.
Sounds Jake to me.
He replies, snapping his fingers enthusiastically as the bus pulls up.
Oh look, there's our trolley now. All aboard, everybody. Ah, wonderful. Now I'm going to be trapped in a confined space for God knows how long with a neurotic rabbit that just went code red on us not 20 minutes ago and, well, whatever the hell Bonworth is.
Your theory about having accidentally checked into an asylum is starting to feel like it's holding water. The bus is packed with colorful commuters heading into the city for work, some of whom give you funny looks as you pass by. You resist the growing urge to announce to all the gawkers that you're not even the weirdest person in your group. Despite the bus being nearly full, the 4 of you are able to find seating all the way in the back. Chica squeezes in next to you while Bonworth and Bonnibel sit opposite to you. With both Chica and yourself occupying a small, narrow bench seat, it's more than a little cramped. You find yourself pressing up against the window to avoid shoving her off the bench. Good thing you're not claustrophobic.
You're all gonna sit up here, Mike, if you'd be more comfortable.
Chica comments, patting her lap with a coy smile. You very briefly consider taking her up on the offer. Her feathers are quite soft, and she's, well padded. But it'd ultimately make you less comfortable, especially since she, and or Mangle, would almost certainly tease you about it later.
I'll manage. If I'm crowding you, let me know. Wouldn't want to be accused of manspreading or anything.
You reply.
Well, don't let me smush you either, though. You know that Mangle likes the taste of your berries.
She grins. You turn bright red to the amusement of your companions, and even a few of the nosy passengers around you. Even Bonworth blushes, jokingly pulling at his collar.
Gee willikers, sport! Sounds like you're quite the man about town. Should I take it old Mangle has designs on you? I think Mangle has designs on everybody. That comment was taken very, very much out of context, and you know it, Chica.
You grouse, rubbing vigorously at your cheeks in a failed attempt to hide your embarrassment.
You gotta learn to laugh a little. All that silliness is contagious. Pretty soon we'll all be an apartment of grumps if you don't learn to cut loose every once in a while.
She replies smugly, tossing a wing around your shoulders.
I am cutting loose. This morning at the breakfast table, Mangle ate my berries and I didn't even...
More snickering from your companions.
Ugh. You know what? Forget it. Well, this sure is shaping up to be a lively little chant.
Bonworth beams, straightening his bow tie as he turns to Chica.
So how's everyone doing at your place? I still can't forget the last time I stopped by the apartment for that delightful brunch. If I didn't know better, I have said I put on 6 pounds just looking at it.
That's ready for you.
Chica replies.
We're getting along just fine. Right before you walked up, I've been trying to convince Bonnie here to go jogging with us since she needs to put on some weight. I'm afraid the first strong winter wind we get's gonna blow her halfway across the parking lot.
Might need to get her a leash like we have for Foxy.
Bonworth replies, tousling Bonnibel's head fur.
Foxy and Bonworth are roommates? That explains a lot, actually.
Bonnibel ducks under her scarf a little.
Oh, you guys.
She says, blushing.
Don't worry, Bon. We won't make you do anything you don't want to.
You reply, giving her leg a friendly pat.
Especially not after that little freak-out earlier.
Thanks, Mike.
She's still blushing, but gives you the most precious little smile. It's hard to believe this was the same little Spitfire that threw a hissy fit just moments before you left the house.
So, Mike, tell me about yourself.
Bonworth grins, smacking his thighs with his palms.
I moved into A7B about 4 days ago?
You glance at Chica, who nods.
So far, it's not bad at all. Everyone's been really easy to get along with. I'm enjoying it here for sure.
Bonworth raises an eyebrow.
Well, that's dandy and all, fella, but that tells me sip about you. Come on, give me the scoop. Where are you from? Any hopes and dreams? You like baseball? Go to the opera house? Ever won a sack race? Boxers or briefs? When's the wedding? You know, that sort of thing.
You shoot him an icy glare at that last question, and to your surprise and comfort, even Chica cuts her eyes at him a little.
Alright, Bonworth, that's enough for now. That's seniority when it comes to teasing Mike.
She chides.
Gee, thanks, Chica.
You huff as Bonworth cackles, clutching his knees.
You weren't kidding! He really is uptight! You're way too easy, fella.
He smirks, his long purple ears swaying as he shakes his head.
No, right? Isn't he great?
Chica giggles in agreement. You find yourself really hoping the bus stops soon.
Honestly, Bonworth, I'm pretty much just an average guy who's just a little down on his luck right now.
You insist, trying to steer the conversation back towards something resembling normalcy.
I got laid off due to a work-related injury and ended up losing everything. I needed cheap housing, and so here I am. That's some tough business. I think you'd be surprised at the number of folks in our little neck of the woods who have been shafted at some point or another by the big cheese.
Bonworth nods sympathetically.
At least I got a roof over my head and food in my belly, thanks to everyone taking me in. I can't really complain.
You reply.
Oh, I somehow doubt that. You got too much fire in your eyes to be the complacent sort, Mike.
He gives you a lopsided smile.
What the hell does that mean?
You ask, before realizing all too late that you've fallen right into his trap. He and Chica both bust a gut laughing, and even Bonnibel can't help but giggle at your discomfort.
See what I mean? Too easy.
He says, wiping a tear from his eye. The "Let's humiliate Mike Schmidt" express finally pulls up to your stop, none too soon. You're one of the first off the bus, filing out along with about half of the other passengers. As you step out onto the sidewalk with reddened cheeks and a bothered huff, an ample-bodied alligator, or maybe she's a crocodile, you can never tell the difference, sidles up next to you. Brushing a thick lock of her blonde hair back, she leans down and tilts her sunglasses slightly to look you square in the eye with a stern glare.
You best stop all that today now just 'cause you's haunted, child.
What?
I heard you back there pouting. Whole crowd did. Them armies of yours, they care about you. They just playing with your temper. Sooner you put some water on it, the better.
I don't understand.
You stammer nervously. It's one thing to be intimidated by an oversized chicken, but this is a whole new level.
Miss, I think you comprehend just fine, Ishwe.
Turning on her heel, she walks off, her bulky tail swishing back and forth as she goes about her business.
Whoa, Mike.
Chica grins as she watches the curvy reptile saunter down the street.
Make a new friend?
I have no idea what that was about. I think I just got a dressing down by that crocodile lady.
You reply.
What'd she say?
Man, I don't know. She was making about as much sense as Freddy. Wasn't a good talk, I'll tell you that much. I get the feeling I pissed her off.
Don't worry about it. Folks are strange all over. How about a soda or something?
Chica replies, nudging your shoulder.
Yes, please. Or maybe a beer.
You reply, stumbling after her nervously.
Mike! It's not even noon! You act like that's your first time seeing a gator up close.
She cackles, slapping your back.
It was, actually.
Bonworth raises a paw to his head, comically turning in place like a ship's lookout before snapping his pointer finger out.
All right, pals. There's a watering hole not too far yonder with the niftiest ice cream sodas. How about we wear whistles before we part ways? My treat.
He says.
No, you don't have to do that. We're fine with going Dutch.
Chica says.
No, I insist. It's the least I can do after us busting poor Mike's chops all the way over here. Come on, fella.
Bonworth replies. You're not fond of letting others pay for you, but your settlement check's already mostly spoken for, and you've got to stretch it across an entire month. In the end, common sense wins out, and you accept as graciously as you can. Besides, a soda does sound good right about now, considering you haven't had any caffeine today. As you follow your group through the bustling downtown streets, you find yourself idly taking notes in case you're ever here by yourself. It's good to know what services and businesses are available to you now that you're starting to get back on your feet. The downtown area is clearly an older district. Large buildings built closely together en masse, apartments above restaurants and shops. But despite the dated architecture, there's enough recent renovation to give it something of a modern accent. Bonworth leads the three of you to an old-fashioned ice cream parlor. 50s era pop art and posters adorn the walls next to photos of vintage cars and long-dead celebrities you've never heard of, across species you can't reliably identify, while a jukebox in the corner of the room churns out upbeat classic rock. You could easily see Richie Cunningham or Archie Andrews hanging out in a place like this. Apparently, it's still too early in the day for the restaurant to be hopping, and it looks like you're the only customers right now.
I could see why he likes the place.
You comment to Chica with a grin.
It's a bit corn pone, isn't it? I've never been inside, actually.
She replies.
I have. About a month ago, I mean. Their fries and lemonade are really good.
Bonnibel timidly interjects.
Don't tempt me. Fries are my weakness. But we practically just ate breakfast. It's too early for me to be gorging myself.
Chica says, rubbing her belly self-consciously. Bonworth taps the bell on the counter for service. A lanky orange-furred tabby wearing an old-timey Soda Jerks uniform shuffles around the corner. Hey, look who it is. Big Bonnie and Little Bonnie. Nice to see you again, Bonworth. Who are your friends? He announces, propping himself up on the counter with one arm.
Hey, pal! Guys, this is Leo. You know the phrase, service with a smile? This was the guy they were thinking of when they coined it.
Bonworth says, shaking his paw.
Nice to meet you too, Leo. I'm Chica, and this is Mike. He's new to town.
Chica replies. Bonworth seems to know everybody. More and more you wonder if he's even capable of meeting a stranger. Leo shakes your hand and kisses the back of Chica's with a flourish. You find yourself fighting a frown as she titters girlishly. I love to say I'm all about the smiles these days, but my new boss has been bummed out ever since he bought this place. Total square, you dig? Leo comments before glancing over his shoulder. You didn't hear that from me, though.
I get you. My old boss went for an unfortunate replacement, too. Food service is a rough gig.
Bonworth agrees. So what can I get you guys? Our special of the day is a hot dog and root beer float combo for just 3 clams. Hand-dipped, hard-packed ice cream, and a 100% USDA beef frank on a poppy seed bun. Only the best quality stuff.
I keep telling you, you should be in commercials. I just say, and I'm already hungry listening to that spiel. Quite the pitch man, Leo. Yes, sir.
Bonworth says.
I'll definitely take you up on the root beer float. And as for that wiener...
Chica glances down at you with a smirk. You roll your eyes, bracing for yet another crude joke, but to your surprise, she takes the high road this time.
Nah, just a float for me, thanks.
Still, from the look on her face, it's obvious she knows exactly what you're thinking. Smugly grinning at you, she takes a seat in the dining room.
Leo, I'd like a scoop of mint chocolate chip. Oh, thanks for treating, by the way, Bonworth.
Bonnibel says, standing on tiptoe to see the ice cream case a bit more clearly.
Aw, shucks. You're sure welcome.
Bonworth says, blushing as she hugs his waist. How about you, Mike? Leo asks, scooping up the ice cream. He wasn't kidding. It's hard-packed enough that you could see him putting some serious torque on the scoop to get it out of the bucket.
Just a Dr. Pepper if you've got it. If not, whatever caffeinated cola's on tap.
You reply. Dr. Pepper, huh? Can't say I've heard of that one, but we've got fizzy drinks of the Kohler persuasion aplenty. Leo answers. Bonworth? Bonworth makes a show of thinking, tapping his chin.
You know you sold me. I'll have that combo. But bucks a frank up to go, if you would please.
Mustard and relish, okay? Leo asks as he hands you Chica's float and your own drink cup.
I'd relish some relish.
Bonworth replies, striking out in an intentionally goofy, clumsy dance with a snap of his fingers. You can almost hear the corny laugh track in your head. Leo chuckles as Bonworth nearly flips over onto his back, catching himself on a nearby chair. You're 2 left feet, Monty.
Ha! You're telling me.
He says with a sheepish grin. After enjoying your drinks together, your group parts ways with Bonworth so that he can go grocery shopping and you can hit up the bank. You waste no time in cashing your check, most of which you turn around and immediately hand over to Chica while Bonnibel's distracted watching television in the lobby.
Dude, whoa, no. This is way too much for utilities and food. Like, way too much.
She whispers, looking down at the thick stack of bills.
It's really fine. You guys took a total stranger in on a whim and did everything in your power to make me feel comfortable. Let me help out a little.
Mike.
She argues, her voice ramping up.
This is more than just a little. This is twice as much, or more, than any of us contributes from our own checks to the monthly bills. Really, it's...
Not wanting to make a scene, you gingerly press a finger to what's left of her mouth to quiet her, but she flinches back as you do. Giving her an apologetic smile, you hastily draw your hand back.
Sorry, Chica, I'm a single guy with basic needs. I don't smoke, I rarely drink, and I don't have much in the way of hobbies. What am I going to do with this money?
You glance over at Bonnibel, keeping an eye on her.
Besides, until I'm back on my feet, I want to make sure I can help make things a little more comfortable for all of us.
She's clearly torn. You could tell the money would go far towards furnishings and helping out with some of the apartment's more specific needs. On the other hand, you could see that same pride in her eyes that you're fighting in yourself, that stubbornness that wants to bear the weight of the world. And just like yours did earlier, her self-preservation forces her to cave.
Well, thanks then.
She murmurs, her face awash with embarrassment, relief, and something else. You stand up to your full height and hug her tightly. turning a little as you do so that you don't make it look like you're trying to get a face full of chicken breast.
No, Chica.
You whisper back,